Hi, I'm Kat and
I play dead.
there's a party in the castle of the Pumpkin King and everyone's invited. The ghosts, vampires, witches, skeletons, Frankenstein's many monsters and even the unicorns. Castle Party is a flip and write where you try to place the creatures in the castle, making them as comfortable as possible and scoring points in the process. Let's have a look at how it plays. Each player starts with a whiteboard and a marker. The whiteboards have two different sides, one for the basic game, one for the advanced game. So make sure everyone is playing on the same side. There are then two different types of cards. This deck has got all the monsters in it. So we have our witches, our ghosts, our vampires, our skeletons, unicorns, and last but not least, our Frankenstein's monsters. So shuffle all of the monster cards up in one deck. Then we divide the shape cards into four roughly even sized decks and place a clock card into three of them. Shuffle them up to build your shape deck. That one on the top. Scoring occurs each time a clock card comes out of this deck, and the third and final clock will trigger the game end. Deal 3 monster cards to each player. Whenever you play a card in this game, don't forget to draw up. You should always have 3 cards in your hand. First player will draw a card from the top of the shape deck. Now this player gets to decide which way round they want the shape to be. Remember that all players will be drawing the shape as they see it. So while from here, this is my shape, anyone on the other side of the table, the shape would be in the other direction. So as I'm the start player, I choose one card to start the pattern off. Now this card will go where the X is marked. So I'm going to place my vampire there. The next player will then choose a monster card to place, and so on round the table, remembering to draw up every time you play a card. Now this shape is complete and it's time to draw it on the board. Now before drawing the shape on the board, players can choose if they want to activate one of the 3 special abilities on their boards. The first one here is Lights Out. If you use this ability, you simply cross it off to say it's been used, and you get to rearrange all the monsters in this shape. So I'm going to choose to put the vampires together and move it like that. Now, every other player has to deal with this formation. The next special ability on the board is the Masked Ball. This allows me to basically change one of these monsters as I draw it on the board. So I could change my unicorn or my witch into a vampire if I wanted. Alternatively, the last special ability here is to change the orientation of the shape. So I could decide I wanted the shape this way, and everyone would have to draw it in that formation. Now, these 3 special abilities are only available to use once throughout the course of the game. If you have any of them left, not crossed out at the end of the game, they're worth 2 victory points. After everyone has decided whether they're using their special abilities or not, we'll draw the shape on the board using the symbols. So I'm going to stick with that formation. I'm going to do my vampires there, my unicorn here, and my witch here. Now this is a special sort of witch, as indicated by the dot. These are the royalty of the specific houses and will award you extra points at the end of the game. You must always keep guests in the order shown on the shape. Now let's have a look at another shape, and we can look at some other stuff. So here we have a row of 3. So I'm going to place this one, then this one, and this one. Now the interesting thing here is shapes can overhang the edge of this board. So if I wanted to, I could do my Frankenstein's monster here, my witch here, my other Frankenstein's monster off the board here. However, at the end of the game, any monsters that are swimming around in the moat will be minus 1 point each. After the shape has been drawn, cards go in the discard pile and the next player will draw a shape. Decide on the orientation and place cards. So let's do this and just fill my board up a little bit. I'm going to put that there and that there. Oh, another wonky Tetris shape. I'll put that there. Draw up to 3 cards. Put my witch there. So let's get some monsters into that party. So play will continue in exactly the same way until a player draws one of the clock cards from the shape deck, at which point a scoring will occur. Each time a clock is revealed, all players enter a scoring phase. Choose one of the 3 different abilities to score at this point. Each can only be scored once over the course of the game. So the first one here is the fireworks. Here you'll score any monsters that are gathered in front of the windows so they can sit and watch the fireworks. So in this case, I'd only gain 1 for my Frankenstein's monster here who sat by the window. However, if I'd had some other stuff here, I'd score 3 points. These 2 windows are empty, so I wouldn't score anything for them. The second scoring is a conga line. So you're looking to find the biggest group of matching monsters that are orthogonally adjacent. So I'm quickly going to put a vampire there. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 vampires. So in that case, I'd get 4 points. The final scoring here is the toast to the Pumpkin King. At this point, you're going to draw a little pumpkin crown on your board, and he will score you 1 point for each different type of monster surrounding him. So we have a witch, a vampire, a unicorn, and we have a royal witch, which actually counts as a different type. So I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. The 3 scorings can be used in any order you choose. So right now, I wouldn't necessarily want to use the fireworks because I'm only going to get 3 out of a possible 9. Or the Pumpkin King would get me 4, but I might want to wait until I can get 8 points total for that. When the 3rd clock card is drawn from the shape deck, you're going to do your 3rd scoring and then move on to endgame scoring. So let's just say, drawing upside down, 4, and that was 4. Then at the end of the game, you're going to score points for groups of the different types of monsters. Each monster group will give you 1 point for each orthogonally adjacent monster. However, if they're touching the royal, they'll grant you an extra point. So in this case, I'd get 2, but then I'd get an extra 1 here because this ghost is touching the royal ghost. Go through and do that for each of the 5 different types of monsters. Then you're going to score your unicorns. Now, unicorns are very nice. However, 1 unicorn on its own is a bit sad and lost at a party. So that will get you -5 points. However, if I manage to get 2, oops, my terrible drawing, unicorns next to each other, I'd get 1 point. If I had 3, it would get me 5 points. 4 would be 10 points. 5 unicorns together would be a massive 15 points. So you're going to score your unicorns down here. Next up is the special actions. As I said earlier, you're going to get 2 points for each special action not used. So let's say I had used that one, and I'm going to give myself 4 points for 2 unused. Then you're going to give yourself minus points for monsters in the moat. They're not very good swimmers after all. So in this case, I'd get -2. Monsters on the drawbridge will get you 0 points, but at least it's not negative. Monsters outside of the Grand Hall don't count towards groups. After all, they're not partying with the rest of their mates. Add all your points up, and the player with the most points is the winner. Castle Party has got super cute artwork, even down to the backs of the cards. And we've got the Pumpkin King here with his tray of Ferrero Rocher, spoiling us all. And then the back of the monsters cards have just got an array of monsters. So all the art is super cute. However, the combination of polyomino and flip and fill does make it a little bit more complex than a lot of other flip and fill games. So be aware going into it. The advanced version is really neat. You have 5 different locations. Now, I know we've got the punch bowl because the vampires like to drink a lot. The disco ball because the ghosts like how it reflects their transparency. Each of the locations on this board has a specific type of monster that wants to be there. So if you get the vampires next to the punch bowl, you can gain extra points. It's also then knocking spaces out of the Grand Hall. Now, even when we were playing on the basic side, we were running out of space. Be prepared when you're playing this, you will end up having to overhang those monsters. I think however neat you are, unless you're lucky with your clock drawers, there's going to be more monsters than there is space in the Grand Hall. Super cute. It's Halloween. We love Halloween. It's Castle Party from Devir Games. Really cute. Great for the season. Lovely little flip and fill polyomino style game. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click like, subscribe. Come and say hello on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at iPlayRed. See you next time. Bye.